Hey guys, this is my quick review of the Dell Inspiron 7791. This is a 2-in-1, meaning it also can fold the screen back and act as a tablet. There are Inspiron 7000 series laptops that are not 2-in-1, so when you go to purchase one and you want these features, make sure it's the 2-in-1 variant of the model you're seeking for different sizes and CPU specs. Okay, I've had this for about 3 weeks now and have used it very lightly, but I thought I'd go over some things with you to let you see more closely what's it all about. Okay, first of all, it's very thin. It's really incredible. It's a credible piece of engineering. It's very thin. The screen, you can see, very thin. And the screen is beautiful. It's glass. It's not frosted like a typical monitor is. It's just pure glass. In fact, you can almost see me in the reflection. No, not quite. And it's a touch screen, so just slide it, or you can use the mouse pad, scroll bar kind of thing to move around. So it's kind of nice. You get the option when you need to. If your fingers aren't too greasy and you don't mind getting a few fingerprints on the screen, just to move around and, touch things, and just like the mouse. And let's see, what do we want to go over next? Okay, the first thing that was actually annoying to me was this keyboard backlighting. Now, the backlighting on any keyboard is always a welcome feature. When you don't have it and you want it and you need it, it's really a bummer. So this has it, and I can turn it on. I can adjust it. I think it's two or three different levels: function and lighting. As you can see here, there's low, high, and off. Now, on the video here, you're seeing it looks pretty nice, right? Low, high, and in reality, right now, with my eyes looking at it, I'll try to simulate this on the camera. But there it kind of is. That's what it looks like a lot of times in most lighting. I can't see the letters on the keyboard. The silver is what's causing this. Silver and a kind of a light blue is almost like overcome by the silver paint around it or something, and it just washes it out, and I can't see the keys. And I found that really for daytime use, I just have to go ahead and hit the function key and shut down the backlighting. For low light, like if you're in a car at nighttime or in a living room with low lighting, it'd be great to help you find the keys. But in the daytime, it's just kind of a loser with this silver color. I wish they had a black variant. I would have bought it instead. Okay, so that's really my only gripe about it. Let's see, what are some other things you need to know? So the function key here can operate all these graphical things on top of the function keys up here. So you can control your sound levels, mute, keyboard backlighting, screen brightness, and alternate monitors. And ports over here, the HDMI port, you have a USB-C port, which is a Thunderbolt connection. And I had to do some reading on that. There's all kinds of things you can plug in. So this can plug into a hub that would give you additional monitors. So I think with this you could do an external monitor here plus another 2 monitors off of this port, in addition to network connectivity and whatever the dock. This will connect you to a docking station, which whatever connectivity that docking station have will give you those capabilities. An SD card slot there. This is the power cable. I don't have it plugged in right now, with about 50% battery left on it. Okay, the screen, 17-inch. Man, it's awesome. And let's just see exactly what the screen size is. Let's put it down in that corner right there. Trying to hold the camera here is a little difficult. Okay, we're down here at lining that up right in the corner, and up here it's right just over 17 inches by a little bit. So it's a huge screen. Best real estate for portability. It's just awesome to be able to have a 17-inch 1920 by 1080p screen. It's great. Okay, let's talk about the speed. So this is an i7, and I believe, let's see, let me pull up this specs here. So there's the i7 CPU, and I want to say all the time I'm using it, except we'll talk about gaming here in a minute, but all the time I'm using it, it is barely being used. So what that translates to, if you spend the money to get the i7 variant, is that it's not going to generate heat. Okay, so the heat is going to come off the back here, up in right in here in this hinged area. There's a gap in here. No matter how you have the hinge positioned, there's always this gap, and all heat can exhaust out here and down here. So that's where your heat will go. And where does the intake is all these little micro perfed places in the laptop, including the sides down here on this side. And I'm only guessing that they just kind of went overkill on the venting, so that if you happen to have this on your lap and you're blocking some of this, it'll still have plenty of other areas it can pull from. And of course, you know, when laptops get overheat, they'll start shutting down and warning you. Usually, if they don't warn you, they'll at least shut down to prevent any damage to them. But you'll feel the heat. If it starts pumping it out, you'll feel it. Okay, so most of the time it is just kind of idling. Sometimes I'll see it pop to maybe 10%. Occasional spike on something else. Let's just try a movie here real quick. We'll just go to Amazon. I'll have this queued up here is Mission Impossible. And I can change the sound while I'm watching, increase sound levels. Maximum. Bump it 10 seconds. Okay, now while this is playing, I'll show you the CPU. Notice the CPU. We're here at about maybe 20%, and GPU is really doing almost nothing, 2%. So to run movies, it's like it's just really not burning up hardly any CPU and battery. Okay, and there's my RAM. I got 16 gigs of RAM in it. And what I did to get a little more speed is I went ahead and wiped and reloaded the latest version of Windows 10 on here. So I'd get rid of the Dell installed utilities, and I got rid of the McAfee antivirus that was trying to ask me to sign up for 30-day free trial, and I just wanted to ignore that. I wanted to get out of my browser. I don't do anything that's sketchy that'll get me in trouble with this one, so I decided to forego that and just use the typical Microsoft protection there, which is something. It's not as good as some of the major packages. Okay, so let's try. I've only done this once before, but let's do the tablet mode. So let me put a camera up here. See if this works out good. Okay, and I will bend it backwards. And as I bend it, it's asking me the question here, do I want to switch to tablet mode, which I think kind of changes how it orients the keyboard. Of course, once I bend it backwards, the keyboard will be ignored because you'll be typically placing that on your lap or on a table and might be pressing those keys accidentally. And so, yes, I want to switch to tablet mode, and you can optionally change the behavior from that permanently. For now, I'm just going to have it ask me every time. I'll just say, yes, I do want to switch to tablet mode. And so some things kind of changed there. I haven't really messed with tablet mode a lot. Okay, now it's folded, and my hand on the back side here is just kind of pressing the keys and the pad. And I think it's accidentally recognized my hitting the start button by accident. So I didn't want that. Let's open, let's go back to my desktop if I can. And I can't. I really want the taskbar. And if I rotate it, it'll rotate with me. Let's fold it back. And I want to switch back to regular mode. Okay, now I'm going to do it again. This time I'm going to say no. Okay, I want to say no. And it should still ignore my key presses, and it is. It's ignoring them. Now I want to open up a PDF document, which happens to be the manual for this computer right here. And I'll turn it vertical because it's easier to read in that page style mode. And you can see kind of how responsive it is here, up and down. And let's see how the CPU is looking. Task Manager. So to move around, it just hardly uses the CPU at all. I don't know why Task Manager disappears. Okay, so that's pretty neat. How does it feel? It feels very solid. The hinge is incredible. That's quite a hinge. It's very solid. Wherever you position it, it just kind of stays. And so when I tilt the screen, it just kind of moves. Now, one thing I was kind of wanting to do was notice how when I move the hinge and I move the screen back, the hinge kind of goes downhill. The screen kind of goes below the laptop, and I was kind of wanting the hinge to be up, so the screen would kind of be up a little bit. And I've tried to kind of force that, and I think it can be forced, but it feels like I'm using too much effort, like I might damage or bend or hurt the laptop a little by stressing it. So I don't love the fact that when I fold it down, this might be digging into my leg if I have it on my lap or whatever, or I don't know, maybe this is by design and it's trying to lift it up a little bit to help the ventilation out. I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay, let's talk about gaming. Okay, so I'll keep the Task Manager running, and let's just pop up this tanks game. I've only played this tanks game, and I'm not sure there's tons of other games that would behave differently with this GPU. And let's just try this out. Now what you'll notice here in a minute, you'll start hearing the fan speed. Now the audio is awesome. The audio on this is really good, and you know, you can tell a little bit, like back here, it's loud enough, and it has a nice stereo effect to it, and you know, there's not a lot of bass that a laptop can do, but it's just very good. And usually what I'll do when it's gaming like this, it'll start really blowing hot air. And I'll usually take something like a small box or small stick or something, and I'll just lift the laptop like this so it gets plenty of ventilation in the back, like that. Because believe me, it'll huff and puff here in a minute. Okay, now the fans are starting to kick in, and what I'll do, since it's not really starting the game yet, is trying to join me up to a group here. I'll just turn down the sound and turn that sound down so you can hear that fan. And I can feel it's starting to get pretty toasty right here. I mean, it's really hot, and the heat sinks in here, and you'll feel certain keys get pretty hot too. And what we're going to look for here is the frame rate as I'm playing. I mean, this is 50s is just awesome for a frame rate. I mean, for a laptop that's not officially a gaming laptop, I mean, come on. Now I'm going to have to plug in a mouse to actually play this game. Otherwise I'll be going nuts. Okay, now I'm going to pause it, and now when the game's over, I'll come back and show you the GPU usage. Okay, done with the game, and let's see how the GPU is working. So there it is. It was slammed, and this is the NVIDIA GeForce MX 250. So it was slammed right here, and that's when I was coming out of the game back to the garage, and then I was done. And you can, this fan, it's still trying to cool it off. So pretty intense. So what's it like to carry this thing? So of course it is one of the larger laptops. It's just, the thinness is just awesome, what I really like about it. So I mean, when you pick it up, it's just, look at that. It's just razor thin. And the odd thing about it is, let's get the weight over here. Let's push scale here and set it on top here. And it's just about, right at 6 pounds. So it's 6 pounds. So that's pretty light for what this thing is. I mean, a touchscreen, glass touchscreen, and a, huge, I mean, it's big. So it's nice for desktop performance. So 6 pounds. So it's kind of weird. It's so thin. Your brain says, oh, it should feel lighter. It feels kind of like a heavy brick. I mean, a lead brick, because it's so small. Well, hey, here's this box over here. Look at this huge thing. Huge box. And yet, when I pick it up, I think, oh man, this thing's as light as can be. I mean, I'm just picking it up with a few fingers. Well, no, the box is 15 pounds. It's like more than double the weight of the laptop, but it feels light because it's so big. So this being so small, yeah, it's only 6 pounds, but your brain is just used to small things being light. So yeah, it feels heavy, but it's still only 6 pounds. It's not the laptop of yesteryear of 8 to 12 pounds. So for what it is, it's a very good weight, super thin, so it fits in most briefcases. You got to be careful because the width will be at the edge of some briefcases, and you got to watch the zippers, make sure the zippers aren't going to damage the corners as you close it, or just help it into the briefcase. I'm not sure about backpacks. Backpacks might be a little trickier. So again, the screen is awesome. Keyboard, as far as the backlighting, we already talked about that. As far as the feel, it's interesting. It's not your typical laptop feel. I guess they're trying to get it so thin that there's just not much throw to it. Like, I mean, it's only so many millimeters, whatever, a half a millimeter or a millimeter. You just kind of got to get used to it. And I wish they had separated the numeric keypad a little bit from the keyboard to be more like they have an extra inch out here on both sides, so they could have done a little more with the spacing between. I haven't used this a lot to really know if that's a problem. All laptops seem like they have a slightly different concept of where the arrow keys should be, how big they are. I never really love most laptop layouts. There's very few that I do like, compared to a regular keyboard. But this one has the power button here. So just tapping that puts it in sleep mode. And you can program in Windows 10, of course, you can program what this button does, power versus closing the lid. So if I tap it again, it just, boom, it's right there to wake up. Comes right back. So it's very fast with sleep mode. Because it just, this has the 512 gig NVMe SSD with the Intel Optane. And the Optane option, I think, is only on the top of the line model, most expensive one, but it will when you first start using the laptop, it'll seem fast, but it'll actually get a little faster over the next day or two as you use it, because it kind of learns what you're working on, and that Optane memory kicks in and starts caching to the SSD, which is kind of a wild concept. So it makes it super fast. On the battery life, now I haven't had it plugged in here for a couple days, and I just played the game. I think if I didn't have it plugged in to play the tank game, I could play about maybe 8 15-minute game sessions and the battery would be dead. When I had the battery fully charged and I'm just doing kind of desktop business type stuff, surfing stuff, the estimator here was showing me between 8 to 12 hours of life, with the screen slightly notched down from the maximum brightness. Now the ports on the right side are just two USB. I believe they're both the 3.0 super speed. And you got your headphone jack there. There are no ports in the back. It's just the venting around the hinge. As you can see here, there's nothing but the hinge back here. So it's just those two ports, which, I wish most laptops had 3, but you can get by with 2. And the pad is huge, the touchpad. It's great, and the buttons are built in here for clicking left and right. It's kind of odd the way they have this nicely finished aluminum bezel here around the edge. See how that shines when I'm looking at it? Sometimes I think it's an LED that's on, like right there. It's like it tricks me. You think, oh, is that the hard drive LED? No, it's just the reflection of the lights behind me. So that's kind of funny. One thing I did want to point out is, so the screen has a very nice minimal edge. It's pretty small. It's like maybe 1/4 inch. A 1/4 inch. And here it's about an inch down here of just black edge. So anyway, I've liked the laptop so far. It's really nice. Very portable, lots of battery life. It does gaming. I mean, I don't even think this MX250 graphics card would be much, but apparently, it's awesome. I mean, that game has 2 modes, an SD mode and an HD mode, and it's running the HD mode for the high graphics, so it's doing its job. So this laptop is available directly from Dell on the Dell retail site. It's also, you can maybe find it on the Dell's outlet site, and then it can also be found, I believe, at Best Buy. And no matter where you buy it from, I just decided to check on what it would cost me to extend the warranty by 1 year, additional year, and it was about $50, $47 or $50 to add in a 1-year warranty. So if you buy one of these used, just let you know that you can always add warranty onto it in case in case you want to cover it, because a lot of times when laptops break, you can't afford to repair them because the screens are just so expensive. So I will probably go ahead and get the $50 additional, if not a couple year or the second year or 2 on top of that. And now that is basic warranty, which I think is mail-in support, so you'd have to actually mail it to them. It's not, the technician won't come out to your site to repair it, and that's because the Inspiron is a home product and not a business product. The business products, typically the basics of warranty comes with support and overnight parts and a technician to come out to your home or place of business to do the swap. Oh, and I did forget, in addition to the ports, I did forget to mention there is a webcam. It's hard to see here. It's right there. Webcam built in. So in summary, I think this is a winner. The only thing I would say to improve is provide, if not the surface finish of the whole laptop being silver, at least allow the option to have black keys with white letters that could be backlit. And that is really, I think, my only complaint, and I'll just have to keep using it to see how I like the Hinge and the 2-in-1 going to tablet mode, which I don't know how often I'll do that, but it'll just take a while to get used to that. Otherwise, hope this helps you guys. I'm sorry I didn't really run off a script here. I kind of bebopped all around, but hopefully that'll help you decide on this laptop is a go or no go for you. Thanks for watching.